What's going on, guys? My name is Isaac Crane, and most of you probably already know me, but if I've never met you, if you don't know me, well, shoot, it's nice to meet you. So I just finished recording and mixing my new album, Hour Layover, and I submitted it and it's under review now, so it should be out June 12th. So I hope you get excited for that, and I'd really appreciate it if you guys all checked it out on June 12th. I know it's not that big of a deal, and I don't know, 100 people at most will even listen to the album, but it's a big deal to me because I put in a lot of work, and I really like all the songs. They're all kind of personal to me, so I'm just going to treat it like it's a big deal with this video. And it's going to be kind of a long video, so I'm going to put timestamps down below in the description so you can jump around, skip around to wherever you want. You don't have to watch every single thing. So I'm going to get into thank yous and shout outs. Then I'm going to talk about the album cover, and I'm going to reveal the cover for you guys. And then I'm going to talk about the actual name, 5 Hour Layover, and what that even means. And finally, I'm going to get into each individual song and talk about their meanings and kind of how I wrote them, what inspired me to write them. So yeah, let's just get right into it. Okay, so first I want to get into thank yous and shout outs, and there's a lot of these, so please feel free to skip ahead and go on to something else that you care about. But yeah, all these people mean a lot to me, so I'm going to get into it. I kind of have to look at my screen because there's so much. Alright, so first I have to say a big thank you to my parents. My whole family is kind of really analytical and like numbers minded, so it's always been hard for my parents to understand my more creative side, like music and videos, but they've always supported me and they've always encouraged me, and I really appreciate that. Next, I want to thank my brothers, Nathan and Dawson. They're both older than me, and they're both doing big things in the world, and I'm super proud of them. But they've also just always supported me and encouraged me, and yeah, they're my best friends. They're my brothers, but they're my best friends. And then just a shout out to all my other relatives who have also supported me. My grandparents, of course, and my Aunt Kathy, my Aunt Lee, my Uncle Danny, my Uncle Mike, even my cousins, they support me, so I really appreciate it. I want to make a big shout out to my friend Daniel. I've known Daniel since I met him freshman year of high school, and we've just been so close ever since, and we're like completely different people, but he always supports me, and he really likes my music, and he really encourages me to keep going, get out of my comfort zone. And he actually helped me write the song Lies in Disguise off the album. So yeah, big shout out to Daniel. I'll put his Instagram right here. He's a great guy. You guys should check him out. Okay, so next I want to shout out my friend Samuel Barnett. I also met Sam my freshman year of high school, and he's just one of the best dudes that I've ever met. And he's like, however talented I am musically, he's 10 times as talented. So he's always been like competition to me, just encouraged me to keep getting better and better, and I've learned a lot from him. And one day he's going to be huge because he's so talented. So make sure to check him out. I'll put his Instagram right here also. Great guy. You guys should check him out. So now I got to shout out my roommate Chris. I was always making music, either like playing the keyboard or playing guitar, and he never got annoyed with it, and he always encouraged my music. So I really appreciate that because I know that it can be annoying sometimes. But Chris is super talented. He's a talented filmmaker. I also think he's going to be big one day too. So here's his Instagram. Go follow him. He's a great guy. Next, I want to shout out my friend Chloe. If you follow my videos, if you watch my videos, you'll notice that she always comments right away, and it's always so sweet, and I really appreciate it. So shout out to Chloe. I'll put her Instagram right here also. Go follow her. She's such a great person. Then I have a big thank you and shout out to my friend Ryan. I've known Ryan since freshman year. He's a great guy. We've always been good friends, but he's extremely talented in graphic design, and I asked him to help me with my album cover. So he actually made it, and I'll show you guys that in just like a minute or so. But super talented guy, and he's just a great artist in general. So I'm going to tag his art page. Go check it out. Give him some love. He's a great guy. So I'll tag his art page right there. And then shout out to my friend Allie McGuire. She actually is featured on the song Perfect Match in the album. She's got a beautiful voice. She's super talented. I met her when I did the senior musical. Her and I were both the leads, so I kind of realized then that she had a great voice, and with Perfect Match I just really wanted someone else to sing on it, and she did a great job. And she's also going to be huge one day, so I recommend following her. She's a super great person. So now I just want to shout out some artists that I've been listening to lately and that have really inspired me on this album. So first is John Mayer. I think everyone knows John Mayer. He's unbelievable. But yeah, if you listen to my song I Feel It Now, there's a lot of influence from John Mayer in that song. There's an artist I really love. His name's Adam Melcher. I saw him in concert in Los Angeles, and he's absolutely fantastic. So I really suggest that you check him out. Another great artist I found, his name is Young Mister, or his actual name is Stephen Fior, but he's got a couple really good albums, and I love every song of his. So yeah, you should check him out for sure. So now I'm going to show you the actual album cover that my friend Ryan helped me out on. So there it is. Yeah. So I love this cover because it just shows where I lived, and that's Los Angeles when I came up with most of these songs. I don't know, Ryan just got the mood exactly how I wanted it to be. It's like kind of sad, but in kind of a hopeful way. I don't know, that's how I look at my songs. So yeah, I really love it. I hope you guys like it too. I think it looks really cool. Okay, so now I want to talk about the actual meaning of the name 5 Hour Layover. So it's actually kind of an interesting story. So I went to a really small school, and it was a requirement that we had to go on a missions trip, the whole senior class. So I remember I asked my friend Sam, I brought him up earlier, I asked him like how long the flight was, and he said it's actually 2 flights, and we have a 5-hour layover in New Jersey. And for some reason the words 5-hour layover just like stuck with me from that moment. And it wasn't until, that was like a year and a half ago, and now we're here, and those words still stuck with me, and that's what I titled the album. And to me, what this means is, if you listen to the album, you'll notice that a lot of the songs are about a relationship and like a breakup, and to me, 5-hour layover is just kind of that in-between stage of just getting out of a relationship and not really knowing what's going to happen next. So I always thought of it as, I was just on this plane. It worked really well. There was some turbulence, but now I'm off the plane, and I don't know when the next plane's coming, and it seems like it's taking a really long time, and you start to question, you start to think, maybe I should get back on the first plane. It seemed to work pretty well, but in reality, was that plane really taking you where you needed to be? So that's kind of what I've always thought about it as. And you can really hear that in the songs. But yeah, so that's what 5-hour layover means. So yeah. So the first track off the album is called Love Me Like Before. And I actually came up with the chords and the melody and even the words Love Me Like Before like almost 2 years ago. Like it's been a long time, but it fit really well with the album and kind of what the album's about. So what this song is about, even though it's mainly just instrumental, it's really about getting back together with someone after things didn't go too well the first time and wanting to try again, but being scared that it will just do the same thing. And you kind of remember the best parts, like the honeymoon stage, and that's where the words like Love Me Like Before come from. Do I need you to stay? Oh, do I need you to go? Sometimes it's hard to know. So the next track is called I Feel It Now. And this was actually one of the first songs that I ever wrote. And on my YouTube channel, you can actually go back, and I have 2 other versions of it from a while ago, and they're not very good. But yeah, I've always kind of liked this song. So what this really is about is you're in a relationship and things start to feel a little off and you don't really know why, but you start to question things, you start to doubt, but then she walks into the room and you see her and you see how beautiful she is, and everything else just kind of fades away. And that's where the words "I feel it now" come from. And you kind of forget your doubt, you forget the problems, because you just think she looks so great. You remember all the good stuff. So that's what that song's about. It's one of the more happy songs. And our love is distant, and I know you won't miss it, but I will, and I know I can't fix it, and I know you won't listen, but I will. So the next track off the album is called "I Will," and I performed this one live. So this song is about things really start going downhill, and anytime a relationship goes downhill, your first thought is that the other person just doesn't care as much. And even if that's not true, that's just where your mind goes. So that's kind of what this song is about. It's kind of saying, like, I know you don't care anymore, and I know you don't appreciate everything that's happened, but I do, and I always will. That's kind of what the song is about. And even if that's not true in your relationship, that's just how you feel, on either side. You always feel when things go downhill that the other person doesn't care as much, and that's never really the case. But it makes for a good song. And I tried to record this one, but there's something about it being live that just allowed me to really kind of feel it more. And when you record it and try to get it perfect, you can't really get the same emotion. So I don't know. That's why I chose to make this song live. You could leave again today and every day, and I know it's for the better. I know I'll make the same mistakes unless you choose to stay. So the next track on the album is called "Unless You Choose to Stay." So these words actually came from the movie Yesterday about the Beatles. I don't know if you've seen it, but I remember watching, and the main character, he was talking with his love interest, and she was saying all these things about how it wouldn't work out, and he just grabbed her hand and said, "Unless you choose to stay." And those words just have always stuck with me. So I kind of started writing a song after that, and it's really just about kind of begging the girl or the love interest, your love interest, to stay and not leave. It's, you just broke up and you can't really handle it, and it's please don't do this, please stay. And the chorus is kind of confusing, and I realize that, but what it's really saying is, yeah, I might make the same mistakes again, and yeah, maybe it is for the better if we just break up, but unless you choose to stay, we'll never know. It might work out if you choose to stay. So that's kind of where I was going with this one. But yeah, it's one of the more sad ones. But musically, I kind of made it more not rock, but definitely more electric guitar and louder drums. So it was really fun to make. See, we were so close, now we're apart. What's hurting the most is knowing you're not. I know it won't be perfect, no matter what we try, but I know it will be worth. So the next track is one of my favorites. I remember writing this in my dorm room, sending it to my brother, just a little clip. So this song is months after the breakup, and you can see her Instagram posts. You can see how happy she is and how totally normal she is, and inside you're trying to trick yourself that you're fine, but you're like, gosh, it's been so long and you're still in my head. This song is about seeing them so happy, and you're like, man, I still think about you, I still want you back. That's kind of where the main line in the song comes from. It says, what's hurting the most is knowing you're not. like knowing you're not hurting. But of course, this song was written in a time where this was true to me. But in reality, if you go through a breakup, it's just a good time to work on yourself and not really focus too much energy on that person, or else it'll just weigh on you and you'll think about them too much. And I had to learn that the hard way, but that's all right.
If only you knew how I felt, then maybe you would feel the same. But I'm too afraid. So I guess it's just another night in LA.
So the next track off the album is called Another Night in LA. I also wrote this in my dorm room. But yeah, this song, the words aren't necessarily true. It's not really about anyone specific, but it's just about that feeling of, okay, I'm starting to move on, and I'm starting to see these other people and like kind of think about dating again, but it's scary and you're afraid to do so. So the song's really like, what if I do find someone relatively soon, but what if I'm too afraid to act on it because I'm either still thinking about the other person or scared of getting a relationship? So that's really what this song is about.
Oh, lies in disguise, shattered hearts and broken ties. If only you could feel the pain I hide. Lies in disguise, were there ever other guys? I wonder all the things you kept inside.
Alright, so the next track off the album is called Lies in Disguise. And this one's kind of complicated. So I wrote this with my friend Daniel. And so what happened is he was over at my house and he wanted to learn how to play guitar. So I taught him like the 4 most basic chords, which is just E minor, G, C, and D. He asked me if we could make a song out of just those chords. And I'm like, yeah. So I went to the piano and he just sat next to me and we just started coming up with like this melody off of those chords, and it was sounding really dark, not dark, but kind of angry. So we were thinking of like, because we both just got out of relationships somewhat recently, so we really just started thinking, what if we found out that our like exes cheated on us or just something horrible? Like, how would that make us feel? So we just started writing it, and the song gets pretty intense. It really does. But most songs are really just extreme exaggerations of feelings, and this is no different. Like, the stuff in this song is not true. It's just super exaggerated. And just so you're aware, the relationship described in the song was great, and the girl is super great. So no hard feelings there, like, honestly.
It's been cold inside my heart since February. The only light comes from your eyes. 'Cause I've been on the run, and maybe you're the one, and I might have to compromise.
So the next track off the album is called Perfect Match. This one's kind of cool. I was just in the mood to write a song, so I started messing around on my guitar. So I was just strumming a G chord, and I started playing a C, and then I was like, what if I kept the bass of the G and then had the top half of a C? So the song's not about anyone specific. It was kind of right in the middle of quarantine, and the song's really just about being lonely and wanting that love and affection from someone else. So that's what the song's about. And then recording, I thought it would sound really cool as a duet. And I remember my friend Allie McGuire from my High School Musical, and I was like, oh, she'd be perfect. So she came over and she recorded her part, and we kind of worked it around, took a lot of mixing, but it's a really cool song. It's one of my favorites, so I hope you like it.
Maybe I'm just overthinking what I'm supposed to do. And maybe home is not a building. Maybe home is you.
So the next track off the album is called Two Houses, No Home. And I really think a lot of people can relate to this one. This was right kind of early in my first semester of college. And it's that feeling that, you live in one place and you live in another place. For me, I lived in Colorado, but I was living in my dorm in Los Angeles, but you didn't really feel like you belonged anywhere. So the song is kind of feeling like you're in between two houses, but you don't really have a home. But then in the middle of the song, there's this realization that, well, maybe home is not like a building or a place, and maybe home is just the people you love. And I kind of realized that I have people I love in Colorado and people I love in Los Angeles. So home can be anywhere.
I'll take what I'm given. What you gave me is more than I'll ever need. I make my own prisons. Oh, I fail and I fall, but you bring me back to my feet.
So the final track off the album is called Believe in Me. So I am a proud Christian. I'm not afraid to say it. And I always try to include some kind of Christian song or some kind of song about God in my work, in my music. So I actually had another song ready. It's called Confessions, but I don't know, there was something about it that didn't feel right. So I was sitting in my car just overlooking the city, and I decided just to write this song, and the words and the melody kind of just came to me, and I finished the song in about 25 minutes, and then the next day I just spent recording it, and I really like how it turned out. So to write the song, I really just thought, what do I want God to know right now? Like, if I had to tell God something, what would I tell him? That's really essentially what the song is. It's just saying that I make mistakes, and I'm not always perfect, and our relationship isn't always that close, but I'll always believe in you. Like, I know that you exist, and I'm asking God to believe in me too. And it's not that I'm asking God to believe that I exist. I'm just asking God to trust that I'm trying, that I'm putting in effort in this relationship. So that's what that song's about, and I hope that some people can relate to it. Even if you're not a Christian or even religious at all, the song can still relate to you about you don't really feel like someone believes in you. Maybe it's your parents or something. So yeah, hopefully that message can spread to everyone. Okay, y'all, that's everything. If you made it this far, I really, really appreciate it, and I really hope that you check out the album. I put a lot of work into it, and I think a lot of the songs could really relate to people, so I would really appreciate it if you checked it out. Please leave a like and subscribe if you haven't, and also it would really help if you left a comment maybe saying what your favorite song off the album is, or maybe which song you would want to hear live, because I could perform some live songs for videos in the future, or maybe if you have any songs that you'd like me to cover, just anything, just let me know your thoughts in the comments. Okay, I love you guys. Thank you for everything. I hope you stay safe and healthy in these times, and wish you all the best. I'll see you guys next time.